Hi guys, Joe Thatcher here with Midwest Military Equipment out of Washington, Missouri. Beautiful sunshiny day here in Missouri. We're going to be taking you on a little bit of an adventure today. So I actually was scrolling Facebook Marketplace Saturday evening and ran across a bunch of military trucks and equipment for sale over in a little town called Carmi, Illinois. We're going to hop in the service truck. We got it loaded full of batteries here today, and we're going to cruise over to Carmi, Illinois, see if we can make a deal on these trucks. If we get them bought, we're going to go ahead and try to get them running. They've been sitting for a very, very long period of time. I was told over 2, and then I've also heard 5 years from another family member that I've dealt with on this deal. So we're going to jump in the truck today, run over to Illinois, see what these trucks are about, and give you kind of a whole step-by-step process of us getting the trucks running, getting them loaded on the trailer, and getting them back to the shop. So stay tuned. There they are, right over there. Perfect. Let's pull in here and check these things out. Get us a lawnmower here if we needed one. They got plenty of them. And a Napa in case we need any parts today. All right. So what all do we have here? There they are. See a drash trailer too. Pull up here a little further. Whole bunch of stuff. Let's get out and check it out. All right, so we made it over here to Carmi, Illinois, waiting for the owner to show up. First glance, not too bad. We've got a 1078 A0 truck, 3116 cat. Looks like it needs some batteries and some other love, but definitely bring this one back to life. We got a 934 A2. Definitely needs some love, but been sitting a while. She said that all these trucks have been sitting for about 2 to 3 years now. Sadly, her husband passed away, and she, like I said earlier in the video, we found these on Marketplace and figured we'd come take a look. Behind the 934 A2 here, we've got a 1088 Stewart & Stevenson truck. Looks like a really nice truck overall, just once again been sitting. Needs some love, needs to go through the MME shop and be made look new again. Wow, that is some impressive mold on the windshield there and the whole truck. Wow, probably been sitting a little more than 2 years. So we're gonna see if we can get these guys running today and see if we can make a deal with her. Hopefully get them all moved back to the shop. So a couple of nice drash trailers here. This is kind of an interesting drash trailer. I haven't seen one this large with the bigger tires on it. Looks like it's got 395s on it. It's a tent, maybe it's not even a drash. It might even be a mobile tent setup, kind of interesting. That one's got me scratching my head. I haven't seen one of these before, so don't really know what that's all about. I'm gonna have to look at the data plate on it and see. It looks like it's been crunched up a little bit, but kind of a unique piece, very unique piece. So, Joel, what's your first look at these? So far, so good. Well, we'll see what happens here. So we took a look at the first 3 trucks of this package, and now we're headed over to take a look at a couple of FLU 419 Unimogs. We've had a couple of the Unimogs come through the shop, kind of interesting pieces. You know, they've got a bucket loader on the front and then a backhoe rear attachment on them, all built by Case. And then the trucks were assembled by Freightliner, but they're on a Mercedes chassis with little Mercedes diesels in them. Looks like they're right over here behind this building. 2 of them, so kind of interested to see what these look like and see if we can get these running today too as part of the deal. First glance from here, they look pretty darn nice.
Yeah, the buckets are up. That's all.
Yeah, that's the most important part. The problem with these Unimogs is when they don't run, getting the buckets lifted back up becomes a real nightmare. especially since they've been sitting, and it looks like they've been chained up and the fuel tanks are missing and Yeah, these should be a little interesting. All right, so we were able to make a deal with the owner of these. We ended up acquiring this 1997 M1088, the 934A2, and then the M1078 down there with the winch. Joel's going to go ahead and throw some batteries in that. We already got the Freightliner. We threw some batteries in it. Where they're actually at another site, like I showed you earlier. We're going to run over there next and get some batteries in it and see what it's all about. We're putting brand new batteries, brand new cables on this guy, and hopefully fire this one up first. And we got Gary, one of our drivers, headed over here. We're going to go ahead and get hopefully the 934 loaded up yet today, and then come back for the rest of the stuff tomorrow. We'll send a truck over. We're just going to get everything running. That way he can just show up, load them, and roll. So looking forward to getting these back to the shop. So the 900 series truck here, just went ahead and threw a set of hot batteries in it. Kind of pretty rough and utilitarian. Normally these trucks have 4 batteries, or the shop we convert them over to 2 large batteries. Went ahead and got those thrown in it just for the time being. We're going to see if this thing fires right up here. Like I said, these trucks, originally when we reached out to this lady that was selling them on behalf of her husband, she said that they had been sitting for about 2 years. Well, upon further looking at the paperwork, we found out, oh, that's nice, passenger side, driver's side door's locked. We found out that the trucks have actually been sitting since 2021, so quite a few years sitting here and not being started or had anything done with them. Looks like batteries were all robbed out of them. She said potentially stolen and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my way over to the driver's seat here on this beast. Get this door handle unlocked. So it's good that at least open. Step in the right direction. So we'll go ahead. This thing's got a pretty low mile truck, 6,242 miles, 495 hours. That's a damn good sign there. Cranking good. I'm gonna go ahead and jump out real quick, get the priming on it, see if we can prime these up. This 8.3 is what's nice about them is they've got a manual primer pump here right on the side of the engine block. Go ahead and peel the hood open on it. Joel, you want to give me a hand on this hood on this one here real quick? I think yours hit a little there, didn't it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Fired up. I was gonna check yours.
So we'll go ahead and peel the hood open on this one. Wow. Pretty darn clean truck. Filters are from 2013, so goes along with her saying that they sat for a very long time. Go ahead and step up on the tire here. So on these 8.3 Cummins, they've got your lift pump here, side of the engine. Go ahead and give it a few good primes. There's also a bleeder screw right there on the side of the fuel filter. Sometimes you got to crack that bleeder, but I already hear fuel has primed up to the injection pump. So there's a bleeder screw on the 8.3 Cummins right here above the fuel water separator, and then there's another bleeder screw right on the back side of the injection pump behind the lines. If you ever got one of these that's sitting for a long time, give it some prime up. You'll hear it start kicking out the return. And we'll go see if this thing will crank up now. So get back up into the cab. Door handle worked, so that was nice. It was just locked. Let's see what we got here. Still nothing. I think I'm gonna jump off here, try and get a little more priming done on it and see if we can get this baby to run. I'm cranking on her and it just hit. So, oh, short-lived. Yep, she fired up, a little smoky out of the gate. Fuel filters probably haven't been changed in a very long time, but it's sitting there running. We'll go ahead and let this one sit here and run for a minute. We already checked the oil and the coolant in it. Climb back out. We'll just let it sit here and run for a minute. Man, really cleared up for how old the fuel filters were on this truck and everything else. They're sitting as long as it has been. Pretty amazing. Seems to be running like a top. So, should be a real nice truck once we're able to get it back to the shop. I go inside and see what this one has to say. That was too easy. That was probably one of the easiest 3116 trucks I've heard start. I cannot believe that. Joel, can you get over how easy that thing started? Fired right up. Pretty clean interior on this truck too. It's got a ladder in the cab, extra foam. Check over all the fluids. Check the transmission oil first, and then we'll reach underneath, check the engine oil, see if we can't pop the cab up on this thing, and see what sort of battles we have when we get to the Unimogs and this other LMTV. So this 1088 over here, it's going to be kind of a treat to be able to get it running. We noticed, sadly, somebody has cut all of the battery cables. And not only that, they were nice enough to leave us probably the set of dikes that did it. So that's real swell. Looks like they cut the slave's cable receptacle as well. So this one might be a little more interesting to get going. Not as easy as just throwing a set of batteries and seeing what it's about. So stay tuned. So we're gonna add a little bit of transmission fluid to this truck. Wanted to gear just fine, so that's a good sign, but needs a little bit more 1540 in the transmission before we try moving it. 8.3 truck, been about 15 minutes now, just sitting over here purring like a kitten. So feel pretty confident on this one. It came up with air pressure, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump in the cab. We're just gonna limp it onto one of our detaches, even though as you can see, steer tire here is blown out. Intermediate tire. Somebody probably went for a ride whenever this one went. That one's pretty darn well gone. I'll go ahead and walk back over to the driver's side. We got another flat tire here. We might put a little air in that one before I try to move her too much. This steer tire over here, not long for the world. These Michelin XLs that's on the steers on this truck are pretty common for liking to come apart in the sidewall. So parking brake's already off. Let's see if this guy will move. Man, we're rolling. Rolling really easy. That's awesome. Go ahead and kick her back in neutral here. Set the parking brake. Get out. So then we go ahead and pull service truck over here. Throw a little air in that one. Throw a little air in this one. See if they come back up at all. And this truck will be ready to load out and get back to the shop and see what the next part of its life looks like after this. So one thing I just noticed over here on this 934 is we're still topping the fluids off in the 1078. The darn CTIS is actually working. And for you that have maybe not watched our channel before or seen much in regards to military vehicles and the CTIS system. So the CTIS system is a central tire inflation system. That's what these wheel valves are on the wheels. What it allows you to do is be able to do on the fly, change your tire pressure from inside the operator's cabin. Normally on these 900 series trucks, we see a lot of problems with the CTIS, tires going flat, tires not airing up. This truck, believe it or not, after sitting for 5 years, we went ahead, cranked it up, and the CTIS is actually functioning, inflating the tires on the truck, which is just unbelievable. This back tires already came up a couple of pounds since it started. So pretty wild to see it sit that long and go ahead and start functioning again. Really, honestly, unbelievable. Walk back over here to Joel, see if he wants to see if... You want to try to move this one, Joel? You want to try to back this one up, see if it'll move, see if the brakes are all locked up on it? Just check real quick, make sure the rear chambers, they're not even caged, so this thing probably did run and drive here at one point. Normally, if the trucks have normally not running and driving or inoperable, the rear brakes are caged, so I'm sure these are a little stuck. You can see it coming under a load. We'll see if it'll move. We might have to do a little bit of work on the drums, see if we can get them brake loose. Normally they'll just pop, especially in reverse. All right. Some nice stuff coming out of the exhaust pipe there. Oh, there they go. We got one broke loose. Now, you know, normally if you've ever seen any of our videos where we move our trucks around to the shop, we normally just remove the rear tailgate, move them with our wheel loader until we get them into the shop to be able to work on them. This one, since we're out in the field, we're just trying to get it loaded up on a trailer today. We're probably just going to have to get a little utilitarian and beat this rear chamber.
Is ever flooded?
That's a good question, finding the stick in there. I don't know what the heck that's about. I really doubt. We're pretty high elevation. And somebody must have put that there or was there whenever they parked this truck. So, very odd. Go ahead before we beat on the chambers, or on the drum, excuse me. Let's go ahead and throw it in gear, put it in mode, and let's see if it'll just crawl forward. See if we can kind of get it break loose that way. So when I said put it in mode, what that does, that locks the truck in four-wheel drive. No, that one's stuck good. We're gonna have to do a little work on that brake chamber, I think. Keep on coming, Joel. Come on back some more. Oh, she's still skidding. Run over to the service truck here. Grab a hammer and see what we got. That's one of the really nice features of having this truck. We got to go out on things like this, be able to get equipment back on the road or get it ready to load. Got all the tools we need right where we need them. So make our way back over here and this rear brake drum a few taps, see if it breaks loose at all. You're probably asking yourself, why am I beating on the drum right wherever the shoes meet? So taking this hammer and hitting on the drum just kind of breaks any rust or debris that might try to seat the drum itself to the pads. Try to get that loosened up so that way we can get this tire free without caging this brake. It's seeming like we might just have to cage this brake. I'm going to have them give it a try here one more time. We'll see what happens. See what this maybe does now. A little more work on that back chamber. Give her some more taps, see what happens. You want me to get up in the truck just in case? Yeah. Climb up in the cab of this one here. 8,480 miles on it. Just taking it in and out of reverse here. Seeing if that drum might break free. If not, we're probably going to have to get out some caging bolts and go ahead and cage the brakes on this puppy. Alright, so this 1078 here, overall very happy with the truck. Looks like alternator's charging. Everything's working very well. Power steering works. Overall, very, very nice, clean truck. So this one should hopefully not take a whole lot after we get it back to the shop. Obviously, like all of our equipment, new batteries, new fluids, filters, full drivetrain service, obviously some brake work, check valve work. You ready for me to give it a try with this one? All right, let's see what we got now. See if it broke free. Yep, just a little action there. We broke free, so this one's driving too. Awesome. That is terrific. Go ahead and set the brakes, hop out here. So down to the last truck, then back to the Unimogs. So, pretty great whenever you find a package of equipment. Normally, you know, we should spend days getting a truck to run, depending on electrical issues, you know, charging issues, electrical issues inside the dash, fuses, relays. These 3116 trucks, though, are pretty damn reliable. Been very happy with them long term. Very simple to get running. Not as simple as the 8.3 Cummins like that truck over there, but overall, these are an awesome platform for about any application. So we went ahead and got this one running, pulled it out of its spot. It's going to be good to load. Now it cranks up on its own, so we know our driver Gary can show up here, handle loading this truck without Joel or myself being here. We're going to go ahead and get to the last project. And the last project's going to be the most interesting one. It's like I said earlier in the video, they've went ahead, cut all the battery cables on this truck. So it's going to be kind of interesting to be able to get this one up and going. So we're going to go ahead and throw some new battery cables on it and see what this one does. Hopefully this one goes as easy as the last unit went. So stay tuned. So we had to run across the street actually to, happens to be very convenient in Napa, literally right across the street. Got some 2-aught cable. That's one thing that we forgot. And we had our crimper with us to be able to build new battery cables, but forgot some 2-aught cable. Weren't really expecting to have to go ahead and put new lines coming forward on this to be able to get it to run.
And ground goes up. So
Is if we could get over to the shunt and just come off the ring terminals there, that might honestly be an easier solution. Shunt a little scary looking.
yeah, been there a while.
Little update here on the 1088. We're going to go ahead and make a quick call to our parts department over at the shop. See if they can tell us on the shunt. I don't remember off the top of my head, and Joel sadly doesn't remember either. So the shunt is what we're talking about here, where the main battery cables go. It's right down behind your spare tire carrier, and then power gets distributed from there back up to the instrument panel and to the starter to be able to start the truck. So I'm going to call the shop real quick, see if they can tell us what terminals, either top, bottom, which one's 12, which one's 24 volt. That way we can make sure we get these batteries hooked up properly now, since sadly all the tags on the wiring is gone on this truck. So run out to the warehouse and go ahead and get me a picture of a shunt off of an LMTV. We've got a truck out here that's got the battery cables cut on it and want to figure out which one's 12 volt, 24 volt, and then negative on the shunt so we can get these hooked up properly. Man, bye. All right, so Tyler's going to go get us a photo of the battery shunt. What we decided is a little bit of change of plan. We're going to go ahead and just set the batteries up here on the catwalk of this road tractor itself. It's really nice that they did this to a semi where we can actually get the batteries up here and not have to make new cables till we get back to the shop, or hopefully not make as many new cables out here in the field, just because it's not the best way to do it. A lot easier to do it in a controlled environment. Joel's over there working on the getting the shunt all hooked up properly, getting batteries on that other one so we can try to crank it up. I'm going to come over here to the service truck, go ahead and fire up our air compressor generator on it and get the tires aired up on the 1078. So this thing should crank up here. Got it fired up. Go ahead and turn the rotary screw compressor on. We got air. The air brought up. Walk back over here. So you can see this tire on this 1078. I'm going to creep it real slow over there. It is ridiculously flat. The CTIS, of course, is not working on this unit. So, of course, works on the oldest truck that we bought in the whole lot, but on this one, where predominantly we see the CTIS working more on LMTVs than any 900 series trucks, chooses not to work on this one. So, go ahead and throw this thing in gear, creep it over here, and get some air put in the tire, and hopefully by the time I get this tire aired up, Joel will be ready to try to figure out what we got going on that 1088 and see if it can't become a runner here today. Walk over, get us an air chuck. Lock on chuck here. This tire is not long for the world. The valve stem lock, and it flipped on there, locked on there. There you go. Let's see if this baby takes some air. Air compressor's idling up, so that's a good sign. The CTIS wheel valve's probably decent shape where it's at least going to allow it to have tire in it. I don't have to bypass that, so that's a nice little tidbit of today. Everything today seems to be going way too smooth. See what Joel's got going on over here. Tyler was able to send us over a picture that we needed of the battery shunt, figure out which one is 24 volt battery, 24 volt load, 12 volt load. So now we're going to be able to go ahead and add some ends onto these existing terminals. We got them moved out to the back. Oh, you're using the cutters they used. You want a better set, or those still work?
Those need to go back.
Gonna go ahead and get a new set of dikes and See what we can do here. I'm gonna actually, before I get back up on the truck, I'm gonna go over here and check on this tire. This rotary screw compressor really fills up a tire quick, so just like we got probably about 40, 50 pounds in that tire. We'll get it up to about 60 or 70, make sure we got plenty of air in it, so that way if this truck ends up having to sit here for a day before we can get another one of our semis pointed over here to pick them up. So since I was saying earlier in the video, they cut the battery cables on this truck, so instead of us building new cable, we went and got some new cable from Napa across the street. Instead of us building new cables here, we're just gonna go ahead and crimp new ends on the existing cable directly to the shunt, set the batteries up here on the top, and see what it says. So pretty confident this truck's sitting. Can't get over the amount of mold on the truck overall. This is probably the moldiest one I've ever seen, Joel. It's pretty wild.
If we need it, we'll extend it. And then ground, you just have to make a wire for that.
Okay. So you want me to go ahead and see if we got another cable in the truck, maybe, that we can potentially use for the ground side? Is that, or do you want to just go ahead and we'll put a new end on this wonderful cable that they've got left over here?
Well, I wonder what's in all this collection of stuff behind it.
See what it's about. There might be a grounding strap in this generator trailer. Be really nice if there was. Kind of unique. These are a tent trailer, so this is different tent apparatuses. Chose not to buy these as part of the deal. They're just moving them a long way and really not a whole lot of value to them in our market with our customers. Just don't get too many people looking for tents. I'm sure there is a market for it for somebody, but to ship all this equipment, get it loaded up, get a wrecker over here to load it, just be more trouble than what's worth, sadly. Yeah, Joel, I'm coming up dry over here on these. I'll go look in the service truck one more time, see if we got anything else in there. So while Joel's working on the battery shunt still, trying to get the battery cables hooked up, I went ahead and got the tire all aired up on the 1078. Gonna go ahead and get all the tires up on this 1088, so whenever we're ready to move it, should hopefully move pretty good. So that one don't look super low, a few of them pretty darn low, they're all pretty low tread. Then the next chore is going to be getting this trailer disconnected. That one's going to be kind of a treat because it looks like the jack is kind of messed up on it. So let's get to work on that while he's working on the batteries and we'll see what happens here. Weed through the brush here. Let's see how good this jack still is. See if we can find maybe some cribbing. Oh, I think I'm going to get creative here and see if I can take this foot out of this jack and put it in that other one. So this jack here looks like it's got a pretty nice foot on it. Go ahead and see if it'll slide out. Perfect. Let's see if it happens to be the same size as this one here. That would be awesome. It's looking pretty promising. All right, let's run this up. Let's see what it's about. Handle hitch unhooked. Oh boy, that one's stuck. There we go. It's got to be the longest jack leg in the history. Thing's like 2 feet tall. Like a glove. Pin thrown back in it. What was the likelihood of that? Literally that jack in the fender, same size tube. Tube broken off in this one, literally threw that new tube in here and we're good to go. Got this thing cranked up. Should throw this underneath here, that way I don't have to crank it as far. By far, second easiest part of the whole day here. Safety chain's unhooked. Kind of interesting on this trailer, it's got surge brakes. Something interesting about surge brakes, normally on a trailer this size, you don't normally see surge brakes. So what this does is it actually when the hitch senses pushback against it, like if you were braking with your truck there, it goes ahead and applies brakes on the trailer itself. So really neat feature. A lot of these military trailers like the M1101s, M1102s have that same surge brake set up on them. Haven't seen one on one of these larger trailers though. This one, I mean, it is a smaller trailer overall, with still has a Humvee wheels and tires, but remember this larger frame of a trailer with that big of a gen set on it normally doesn't have surge brakes. Normally they've got either full air brakes typically, so kind of a neat thing. How are we coming on the batteries?
Maybe close.
Our MacGyvering is working?
Yeah. Probably have to build ground wire.
Let's just hope that somebody doesn't come steal all these batteries off of it. That would make a real treat. I think we'll go ahead and turn that other LMTV around and back it up against where you can't see the batteries in the side of it. I think that would be smart. So, are you good for a minute? I'll go jump in that thing and do that. That way I can get it out of here. And I'm gonna go ahead and shut the air compressor down on the service truck. So it's looking up. We just got one more big project after we get that unit started to be able to get the 2 Unimogs going. So 1 Unimog, we already set a set of batteries in it. Have not started it yet. Should be kind of interesting. Those have been, they look like they've been sitting for a long time too. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this Stewart here and get it parked back into position. That way it's ready to go whenever our driver Gary gets here. He can just drive it straight out to the road and be good to go. So I'm gonna take it on a little test jaunt here. Turn it around and then we'll park it back where it came. Pretty nice driving truck overall. I'm just gonna go ahead and loop the lot. First time I've ever had the opportunity to drive a truck here in Carmi, Illinois. Definitely first time adventure. So hopefully this is all going to work out good. We're going to be able to get Gary loaded here in the next half hour, 45 minutes or so. He should be almost here. Probably by the time we get the Unimogs running, he'll be pulling up. So everything should time out really, really well. The only thing that we're concerned about is getting those. If we can't get the Unimogs, both of them running, we're going to go ahead and attempt to get one running, chain the other one to it. I've got him bringing our 29-foot in the well RGN over, so both of them should fit on there pretty good as long as we get the bucket loader up on the one and get these babies loaded and get headed back to good old Washington, Missouri. So we go ahead, spin this truck around, back it in over here next to the rest of the equipment. It's pointed out towards the road for whenever he hopefully makes it back over here tomorrow. So I don't run into anything. That would be a real treat. Yeah, we're happy you're able to sell us your trucks. Really appreciate it. Ran into your tree or your telephone pole. Sorry. Just kidding. Next to the 934, gonna go ahead and shut it down. Just for the sake of making sure we're ready to go. Go ahead and crank it back up, make sure it starts. Look at that, running like a top. Got a half a tank of fuel, so sure it all needs to be drained. It's probably pretty rough considering how much mold's on everything here, but man, just getting that out of the hole there makes it look a heck of a lot better. Walk back over here to the other side and see what Joel's got popping. Look at that. Last crimp, we'll be heated this thing up. I'll throw this air hose over and see if it'll reach that passenger side intermediate dual. It's a little flat. Yeah, man, I'm just gonna come around the other side, might be easier. Go ahead and get these aired up here. That way when we crank this up, be good to go. Well, that's a good sign. They still all have the caps on every CTIS valve I've taken off. So they held air at one time. This one's dead. That one take a little air. Rest of our Bush cables here, ready to go.
I was thinking.
And now we've got intermediate tire aired up. Should be good with the air. And that was the last low tire we had. Go ahead and get this terminal stripped back. I'm gonna go ahead and have you pick up the Unimogs first, but we'll see what it takes to get them running. Doesn't look that way, and I think if we're gonna hang out and wait for you, we'll probably just go ahead and wait, and we'll chain the two, hook the one to the other, and just drive them both up on the detach. Please call me whenever you're a little closer. We're working on these right now, so.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thanks, Gary.
All right, bye.
Bit of a progress update. We've got the starter solenoid is clicking on the 1088, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to raise the cab up. We attempted to raise it up slightly earlier, but however, the cab pump was out of fluid. Typical. That's why every truck we sell and come into the shop, we rebuild the cab lock right there, and then the cab pump, which Joel's up there putting some hydraulic oil in it now. We go ahead and run the manual pump once we get some fluid in it and see if this baby will go up. And hopefully the seals will last long enough for us to get the cab up where we can take a look at the starter. We ended up just hooking up 24-volt side and the 12-volt side, and we had to bypass a relay up here to get it to even hit the starter solenoid, but it's working all right now. Just for a bush fix to get her loaded up, should work pretty darn well. Just to have to get the cab up next. So I went ahead and got some fluid in it. Hopefully this cab goes ahead and raises up. Seems like we're drifting as fast as I'm pumping, Joel. We're not leaking any fluid anywhere. We'll try this bar instead. Might be a little easier to. Pliers, see if that on the manual pump is turned the wrong direction. Hopefully it'll. It's settled down some. Whenever you hit it. What were you tripping up there? You want me to get up there and hit it for you?
Hey, you can.
You're just triggering that one relay. Into the truck now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold the ignition solenoid over and go ahead and trip the starter solenoid. Whenever you're ready, Joel. So a little update on the 1088. We've got a new power wire ran directly to the starter. Got the batteries sitting up on the catwalk of the truck itself. We went ahead and got it to crank. We're not getting fuel, so Joel is over behind me here working on the fuel tank. He's gonna make sure that we've got some fuel in it. But it is cranking, so that is definitely a plus. We need some fuel?
No, it's got fuel.
All right, well, I guess let's see what happens here. I'll go ahead.
Promising, but since the cab won't go up.
Yeah, we can't really sadly do anything about the fuel lines right now, being that the cab will not raise. We did not bring a seal kit with us to rebuild the cab pump and the cab lock. So I'm gonna go ahead and try cranking it again here.
Yep.
It wants to go, it's just lost prime from sitting. Why don't we go ahead, Joel, and give it a little bit of ether and see what happens there. Do you think the fuel lines are probably...
The fuel out of the tank is
All right, let's go take a look at that. Oh, wow. Yeah. Definitely not looking good.
let me see if I can get this one off.
If we can get that one off at the primer ball, and then just, we'll take one of those gallon jugs of oil that we did, put some diesel in it, leave it right there on the battery box. We'll just leave the hose long. Can we poke? We could probably drill a hole in the cap and go about it that way. I'll roll a fuel line here. I'm gonna go ahead and take and run a auxiliary fuel line over to. Got our push lock fittings. Let's spin this around. Push lock fittings here. Some 3/8 fuel line. Go ahead and see if we can get this to work. All right, so I've got one of the fuel lines made up. What we're gonna do, just for the sake of being able to get this thing loaded, as our main intention and main goal, I'm gonna go ahead and get a gallon jug that we had some motor oil in earlier, poke a hole in the top of it, run the fuel line down into the 1 gallon jug, and see if we can get this truck started. We might end up running it all the way back over to the tank, not too sure yet. Just gonna see if we can get this main line off the primer ball since we can't get the cab itself up. Makes for a real nightmare on these trucks because that fuel line runs around the back side of the engine right in here to the main primary fuel filter housing. Makes it kind of difficult to get to, but at least it's cranking. That's definitely a step in the right direction. So one step closer to getting this baby running. A little bit of an update here. We've got ended up having enough fuel line to be able to run fuel line all the way over from the fuel primer pump back over here to the tank itself, the primary fuel filter. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the line disconnected here and go ahead and fish that line over the top of the truck. Hopefully she'll fire right up. So I went ahead and got a new fuel line, just ran over to the fuel primer pump, and then I jump back up in the cab. Joel's gonna prime it up, do our little relay bypass that we talked about earlier, and see what we got. So, Joel, you ready? So we're going to go ahead and hit it. Come on. All right, so I gave it a couple more primes. Gonna go ahead and get the in our ignition solenoid and our starter solenoid. See if it wants to go. Maybe. And she's off. And there it is. We got it running. Woo! Staying running too, which is good. The only thing we got to figure out now is the way we're messing with it is we're going to have to set in, wire in a quick little disconnect on this relay so that way you can still run the ignition circuit until we're able to get this thing back to the shop. Finish repairing where the battery cables had all been cut off the truck, but overall couldn't be happier. Got this baby running. It's burning like a kitten. We got good oil pressure. Alternator's charging. The only thing we're gonna have to figure out is this ignition relay over here, being able to leave it on.
So you grab your key here, so you can let off that.
All right.
Well,
Just gonna jimmy the relay to hold. There we go. Pretty rudimentary key there. All right, let's see what the rest of this thing's got going. We'll let it go ahead and build up some air pressure here and pick up our tools, head over to the Unimog next. So seems to be running really, really well. Biggest thing that I'm kind of concerned about is, are we going to have to fight the brakes on this one? So 1078 was a little bit of a pain, but we were able to get through it, but we're working on this now. All right, so it's building there. We'll go ahead and pick some of our stuff up here. Guess we'll see if this thing will move. Low air pressure gauge went off. And this truck here is another pretty low mileage unit as well, 9,700 miles. So we got some weird stuff with the alternator gauge. It's probably because we don't have much wiring on it to be able to make it run, but that's the nice thing about these 3116 trucks is they don't really take a lot to do. So we go ahead and throw it in gear here. We'll jump it. Oh, we don't have anything on the touchpad over here, Joel. But the brakes are releasing, so we're gonna probably have to jump that relay for it as well. Just be able to give it voltage to be able to get it to run here. Or excuse me, go into gear now. So this is a transmission touchpad on these Stewart & Stevensons. These particular units are powered by 24 volt. They have a relay. This is actually an older style WTEC 2 touchpad, so you can see it's much thicker. So what we're gonna do is get over there, jump a relay for it, and then maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to get this thing going and have it ready to load by the time our truck gets here. The Unimogs are gonna be the next big project, so it's going to be kind of interesting. We haven't worked on any of the FLU 419s here in the past few months, probably honestly a year. I don't think last one we had, we didn't even have it listed on our site for like a day or two, and a gentleman came and bought it from Montana. So stay tuned for that one. All right, so a little bit of an update here on the 1088. We've gone ahead, tested the ECU. We've got a problem with the actual transmission touchpad itself on this unit, so Sadly, we're not going to be able to make it move. I'm going to be reaching out to a couple wrecker companies here locally, see if they can go ahead. At least it's running, so we can go ahead and get the brakes disengaged, make sure the truck rolls, be able to get this loaded up on a trailer a lot easier now that it's at least running. So I'm going to make a few calls here real quick, see what we can shake down in regards to somebody that can go ahead and wrench this onto our trailer for us. Next up, we're going to pack up our tools here at this truck, go ahead and get headed over to sounds like we got a pretty substantial air leak up front here. Go ahead and get headed over to the Unimogs, see if we can go ahead and get the Unimogs running to be able to get them loaded up. Last stop of the project, so see what happens. Nice tow strap here. Right to the pintle on the back of the service truck and be good to go. All right, let's move this thing over, Joel. We'll see if we can tug this thing forward a little. All right, so that didn't work. We're gonna have to try and get these brakes to free up manually. So let's go ahead, we'll pry on them drums, see if we can get them to come loose. So we're going back here to the back of the truck itself. The shoes, problem is rust develops right there between the two faces. This shoe you can see is, this one's loose here, so this one's at least. So the other side, yeah, that other side, this back one on the other side, pretty darn stuck. We moved her forward a little. It's off the trailer hitch. That one looked pretty darn good. So, here we go. That one's a little stuck, but it's not terrible. Moved it a little bit. Back in the 1088, we've got the brakes. We believe all of them should be pulled off the drums now and actually released. Give it another try here to see if we can get this thing to roll forward a little bit. Tighten the strap up and see if it'll roll. Yep, and there we are. There we have it. Go on a little more, Joel. Well, we got a couple of them released. Those need a little more work still. See our utilitarian battery set up just to be able to get the truck running. That felt like it kicked. We jump in the truck again. Make sure it doesn't take off on us. There it went. That sounded promising.
Where we want to go?
I say let's just go up another foot, just so that way we know we're good and free. One step closer. It's been a long time coming. Oh, look at how easy it's rolling now. Terrific. That'll work. All right, so we know this part of the project has been officially concluded. We've got the 1088 rolling. It is running. Got a bad transmission touchpad here, so we're not able to get it to drive. We've got the 1078 with the winch fired up, running, driving, tires aired up, ready to load. Our plan is for tomorrow, we're actually going to come back I'm going to send Joel with our driver Gary. It's actually his father. He's going to go ahead, hook the 1078 to the 1088, get it loaded up, and get both these trucks back to the shop. Then I'll come back with the RGN, go ahead and pick up the 934, which is back behind me there, get it loaded up on the detach. We're just going to leave the tires the way it is now. We're not moving the truck very far. We're just literally going to creep it from where it's at right now, right over here to this spot to load, and we're good to go. So next up is the Unimogs. That's where we're headed next, so stay tuned. Yeah, I'd say that lawnmower there definitely had a heated cab. That thing's not long for the world. All right, so now we're back in the service truck, gonna run over across the street here in beautiful Carmi. I'm sorry if anybody lives in Carmi that's watching this. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. It's Carmi, don't you think, Joel? I mean, that sounds right at least. So we're gonna run over here, take a look at the Unimogs. Like I said earlier, we threw a set of batteries in the one. It was cranking. We'll go ahead and prime it up, see if it'll pop off. The other truck's gonna take a little bit more finesse, kind of similar to the 1088 that we were just working on. The 1088 took a lot more effort than what we were expecting, for sure. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see how these Unimogs go. They can either go really easy or be a complete, absolute pain. So really banking on the first option of being really easy. So it's right over here, bouncing down the street. We also got a generator part of this deal, so pretty nice piece. It's a 15 kW gen set. Here are the Unimogs. So pull over here. Joel, I guess we'll start on the first mog there. See if it'll crank up for us and run, and go from there. Then we'll get hooked onto the generator and see what happens next. So these Unimogs, like I was saying earlier in the video, really neat piece. They've got front end bucket loader, rear backhoe loader. This one, Joel, you said it had 1 hour on it?
Yeah.
1 hour since it was government overhauled.
Three.
And this one has 3 hours on it. So super low hour pieces, really, really neat, very cool. We got the engine cover out of this one, obviously right here on the ground. So we'll see if this thing will start for us. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Then it's on to that one. That one I think is going to be the problem child. It already had the hood off when we got it here, and it's missing the fuel tank. So definitely far from ideal, so to speak. So let's see if this baby hits. Maybe. Look at that. This one started actually. I can't believe that. It's going to be a fun one. I thought we were going to be fighting this the rest of the afternoon. It's kind of getting late in the day already here. We got a 3 hour drive back, so we'd love to be able to just get these loaded and out of here. So happy this one started real easy. On to the next one. And this one here, obviously it's missing a fuel tank. So plan is what originally we thought about doing with the LMTV, we're going to do with the Unimog. We're going to run a fuel line directly to the injection pump, into a jug, run a return line as well, and see if we can get this one to start. If it doesn't start, our plan is we're bringing our RGN. We're just going to go ahead and chain that unit there to this one and just go ahead and pull them straight on nice into this lot right here to load them all up. So should be kind of interesting either way we end up going. Fortunately, biggest problem, and one of the reasons why I hate buying Unimogs that do not run, is you really have to get them running in order to raise the front bucket. Fortunately, these have already been chained up. Somebody thought well with that and went ahead and got those chained up so that way we don't have to deal with it. So that is a very, very nice contribution to today's overall project. Just another stepping piece that we do not have to mess with. So this looks like this one's driving. Goes in reverse too. Huh. Wonderful. Brakes. Hold on, now let me move that block before you go back forward. Back up a little bit here.
What?
Back up just a smidge. Oh, yeah. Don't need you to be doing some, the brakes aren't the best? Well. So do we want to go ahead and we'll just go ahead and get hooked up to the generator here, so that way the service trucks, I'm ready to boogie. So we'll go ahead and do that next. So this one, great, it's got a jack handle. Wonderful. All right, we'll start off by getting some air in the tires on both. both these duals on the generator and see what happens next. All right, so we got the generator trailer all hooked up here. Went ahead and pulled it forward. Got the crane set back in the saddle. We're gonna go grab some lunch as we wait for Gary to show up. So our plan is we weren't able to get the second Unimog running at this point in time, and we're running late in the day. So we're gonna go ahead and just chain this Unimog to that Unimog, drive them on in tandem onto the RGN, and then we're gonna take this generator trailer, tow it behind the service truck back to the shop. So hopefully older tires on a trailer and a long journey down the interstate, never a fun thing, especially when you don't have a spare, but fortunately this trailer's got dual, so hopefully everything goes smooth and we'll be back tomorrow to get the rest of the stuff. All right, so we went and grabbed some lunch, and now here comes Gary with the RGN. We're gonna go ahead and get him loaded up with the two Unimogs. We got them chained together. Got the one driving. We're gonna have to raise a loader boom up on the one unit to be able to get it going here. So we're gonna spin the crane around, lift the loader boom up, and hopefully get these things loaded up on the trailer after we get it detached. So we were able to get the 934A2 loaded up today. We weren't able to sadly get the Unimogs, as we couldn't get the front loader up on the one Unimog, be able to get them both to fit on the trailer. So we're gonna head back over here tomorrow, load up the Unimog and load up the other LMTVs. Gonna try and get 2 trucks over here to get that handled. So headed back to the shop. Long day, long adventure. So gonna get these babies chained down and rolling back down the highway. Hey guys, just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on this whole Illinois truck acquisition. Been a little bit of an adventure. We got a majority of them running, like I said earlier in the video, but took us a little bit more logistics than what we expected to be able to get these things moved back here. We had to end up hooking the one Unimog that did not run to the running Unimog, got it loaded onto our Versamax, had to stretch it out to be able to get it all to fit. The 934, we got that one loaded the day that we were out there, got it unloaded here this morning, sitting here running. I got to move it back to the line. Obviously need to get some tires on it. 2 LMTVs, that was kind of a treat as well. So we went ahead, we hooked the M1078 to the 1088. Had the 1088 running, but the transmission touchpad was out. So we went ahead and backed the 1078 up onto a step deck, pulling the 1088 onto the trailer at the same time. So finally got these things back here settled where they need to be. I'm gonna get them scheduled to come into the shop. Probably the first thing that'll come through will be the 2 Unimogs. We don't have any Unimogs listed right now. If you follow our website at all, we've got tons of the Stewart & Stevensons already pre-listed on our website. So stay tuned. This will be inventory at some point. Can't really tell you when. We've got over 200 trucks in inventory, so this was just to add to the inventory. We wanted to show you kind of what process we have to go through in order to acquire trucks sometimes. It's not as easy as just sitting behind a computer, clicking order, and having it shipped to your door. You know, we try to make our process on buying the truck after sale as easy as possible, you know, with door-to-door delivery, handling all the title work. Majority of these trucks have some interesting paperwork we got to kind of sort through and be able to make sure that we can get these inspected and on the road as good driving trucks for resale. So check us out online at MidwestMilitaryEquipment.com or give our sales team a call at 636-900-9046. We appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video today. We're going to continue to try to do some more long form videos like this, so be sure to stay tuned. Thanks again.